What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the pod. Gerald's here, space.cadet.official, and I'm here with John.
Oh, anarchist.
He's so happy to be here.
And I'm Ilsa Longtail Animation.
Before we
So
start,
what?
I just want to say,
Yeah.
uh, the pod has a name,
Huh? Oh,
sort of.
Af-
It was
okay.
this Afronauts pod Nerdcast.
Okay, Afronauts Nerdcast.
Afronauts
I'm
Nerdcast.
sorry. I'm
See,
sorry.
I'm pretty sure you're the one that came up with that.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we witnessed us solidifying the name. Um, Afronauts Nerdcast.
Okay,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
got
so
it.
we're sticking with that. The question
Tell
is
him
going
why
to
you
be.
mad,
Shut
son.
the
Tell him why you mad,
I'm a
son.
black man and I can afford a microphone, so you're gonna hear me vent. Um, have you ever have you ever been finessed into buying some bullshit? Now,
Oh, you jump all the way
before
to the
you
bottom.
before you answer the question, um, long time ago, I one of my proudest moments is capitalism at its finest. I'm sorry.
I mean,
What? It was gold.
I mean, I don't think you're gonna talk the kid that sold N-word cards in
Possibly.
elementary, in middle school.
Possibly. But so we so I came up with this crazy idea randomly, right? I think I was like 13 at the time. And I randomly just knock on my sister's door. I'm like, hey, I got an idea. We're gonna go in the woods, get some rocks, right? And we're going to paint them up and sell them to people, sell them to adults, right? You know what I'm saying? Like adults love stupid stuff that kids try to put their effort into or whatever like that, and we sell them to adults, right? So we was going to paint them or whatever like that. They could keep them as like paperweights or whatever dumb shit adults. But anyways, so we go to the woods, we do that or whatever. We bring all the rocks back, and like I think we brought maybe like 5 or 6 rocks. I'm like, okay, I feel like this was good, good start. So we laid all the rocks out on the driveway, and I sent Courtney inside to get like the little. Remember the Barbie playhouse with the big pool or whatever like that. Barbie
Yeah.
was living large, bro, but it was she still had the pool laying around, right? So I'm like, we were going to take the pool and rinse the rocks off in the pool, right?
Yeah.
So while I'm getting this stuff ready, these kids roll up on their bikes and they say, "Hey, what are you doing?" Right? I give them my whole business plan right there, right? Like the entire freaking business plan. I'm like, yo, we went in the woods, we got these rocks, we brought the rocks back and like that. We were gonna paint them and sell them to adults, right? And he says, okay, cool. How much? And I'm like, I haven't gotten this far, but $3 a rock, right? And he was like, okay, cool. I'll take two. I'm like, I bet.
Like
Business is booming, right?
raw as is, not painted yet.
You jumping ahead, right? So I'm like, I bet. What do you want on your rock, right? He says, no. I want it like that. I'm like, you don't understand. We're gonna paint them and we're gonna give them to you. We gotta do something to it, you know, before you buy it. He says, no. I want them like that. And I'm like, okay, $6 then.
Were the rocks wet?
Some of them were. It was damp. You know what I'm saying? Because we just about to rinse them off and stuff like that. I mean, we just rinsed them off or whatever. But anyways, the boy bought rocks from me. 2 rocks for $6, right? Now, I'm like, okay, bet. I told Courtney, I'm like, Courtney, let's wrap up. We just we just we just made a 100% profit just with a few, you know what I'm saying? Like it cost us nothing, right? We go inside and I'm enjoying the rest of my day, okay? I feel like a young motherfucking boss,
And
okay? So,
$6 back in.
right. So
It's like
I get a knock. No, my mom get a
$20
knock on the
nowadays.
door. She answers
back
the
then.
door. It's this woman, and I could hear from like the stairs where I'm at. She says,
Did you?
You don't know me, but like I'm
So and
these
so.
kids' parents, and I think your kids sold my kids some rocks or something."
Crack rock.
and so then she says, so mom calls me. It's like, and she's asked the same thing to me, and she's like, you sold kids some rocks? And I'm like, They
wanted
bought
it.
them.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What do you want from me?
They wanted it that way.
They bought the rocks. So I didn't understand how I was the villain in this
Yeah.
circumstance. Especially if look, it would be one thing if the kids were like significantly younger than me.
Yeah.
But they was literally like
We to do just
a
like collect the
year.
rocks. Probably thought the rocks were pretty
Right.
wet.
Talk to your kids. Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
The money have already been invested, okay? You can't. But yes, going back to the
You had to give back the money. Oh dang.
yeah, I had to get back the money. My mom was like, did you still have
Did you
it?"
get
I'm
the
like,
rocks back?
Yeah, huh? No.
They kept the rocks and the money.
Exactly. So who's the victim here?
Yeah. Okay.
Look, they got their money back and the rocks. This is the worst customer service experience I definitely had to.
That was your
I had
first-
to repurpose. I mean, I had to redesign my. You know what I'm saying? Like
was
my
your-
business afterwards.
That
okay?
was your first Karen experience.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I shut down a hotline or like that. I had to fire my only employee and shit. You know, I'm like, damn, we're going bankrupt already, bro. Like first day, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I say all of that to say is, did y'all ever buy some bullshit?
Well, I've never been a seller like you, but there was a. Can I drop a name or no?
Go ahead, you drop a name.
Namiware.
Oh shit.
I bought a beanie after supporting his bowling comic book.
I bought his fucking jersey.
The beanie was $25. I made sure to order it right before winter, and even if it did miss out on that winter, the next winter, I'm sure to get it because it's just
Yeah.
a beanie with the logo on it
Yeah.
of his comic book.
Yeah.
And it was like 2 years.
Before you got the.
No, I didn't get anything.
Oh shoot.
2 years, no update, no nothing. I was like, dude, can I just get the refund? And then when you're back in stock
Yeah, just
of
hit
the
me
beanie,
up.
I'll then reorder it because
Yeah.
you know I'm a faithful supporter. I supported your comic books. I gave you shout outs, like
Yeah.
all that stuff. And he was like, sure, you'll be on the waiting list. Like, waiting list?
A waiting
For
list.
$25?
He probably. He really needed that.
Yeah,
shit,
and during that time, he was getting call outs from everybody that tried to support him in his fashion line and how shit was coming in late or they didn't come in at all.
Yeah.
And if they did came in, it was too tight because he was getting it from China.
Yeah.
So like the sizes weren't really
Yeah.
accurate to the
Yeah.
buyers. So people would get things in double XL and it'll come in as an XL or L.
Extra medium. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got people like duck walking with puffer
They
jackets
can't drop
that they
their arms
ordered.
and shit.
So, I've been scammed. I've never been. Well, you
Yeah.
weren't technically a scammer.
Yeah, so I
Not
wasn't
really.
trying to
But
scam
I
nobody.
was never a seller.
Yeah.
But I've been scammed.
Yeah.
Them
What,
niggas
Jack?
deserve that shit.
Huh?
All of us, we deserve that shit. You want to know why we deserve that shit?
Why?
Because this nigga was selling copywritten material and we were buying it.
No, I bought something original from him.
Even if it was original, if
What
you
was
go
the-
back and look,
Yeah.
like Naruto and inspired.
He was selling a lot of
Bleach.
Naruto, Bleach.
Yeah.
So he was just putting his drawings or
I hate to
whatever
be
on his clothing or something.
It was like the color scheme and I guess also the logo.
Okay, but it was an obvious
Yeah.
copyright infringement
Yeah.
claim that he.
And he got a cease and desist.
But we only knew this after the fact though.
No, I think we knew. I think
didn't-
it was close enough because I do remember. Remember when I was telling you that the stuff he was doing to sell his comic book was like, there's like a moral thing going on
Like
there. Like you're lying about
artificial rage baiting.
like. I wouldn't call it artificial rage. I wouldn't call it artificial rage baiting.
Okay.
I called it. I don't know what. I can't think about the word.
Yeah.
But it's like essentially, Netflix is picking my show up. I'm having a meeting with Netflix.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
what was who's the TV Tokyo? No, who's the biggest manga people?
Shonen?
It wasn't Shonen. It was the other one.
Okay, I think I know what you're
Well,
talking
yeah,
about, but I can't
like
remember.
these publisher.
like
I had a meeting with this publisher, and why is this publisher? Look, he made up like
Yeah.
DMs and shit. Like I don't know if that shit was real or not, but I was like, you're too open.
Yeah.
With this stuff that's
Yeah.
going on, and
Right.
then we also already knew about the Noir Caesar people,
Yeah.
right? With him, so he had a beef with them, and it was like, so we knew that either like they were saying that he's lying, and he's saying that they sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
It could, it could be
could've been
either
a mix of both,
or it could
but-
be both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we knew.
That-
I
Or-
saw his, like, whenever somebody's selling somebody else's other people's
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
sneaking, like I
Yeah.
feel
Because you like.
I never thought that because you see that all the time at conventions.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing.
But that's what- but
with
that's what I'm saying.
conventions, with conventions, you first of all, it's very personal sale. Okay, I'm looking right at you or like that. Here's the thing, you're giving me cash or like that. You know what I'm saying? You just bought something that's copywritten or like that.
Oh.
But good luck on them trying to get me, right?
So-
But as far as online or like that, that's a paper trail. That's a solid paper trail, and that is a lot easier to get someone like that. That address needs a email connected to it, phone number connected to it, like that. You're a business at that point, and we could definitely find you and say, look, sell one more thing of our shit, and we're gonna take your pinkies.
You're on Twitter, right?
No,
not really.
Not really.
You know Soul King, right?
Who?
The
That sounds cringe.
Soul King. He sells like a lot of anime and sometimes X-Men merch, and he sometimes goes viral for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he did like Sailor Moon bamboo earrings.
Yeah.
Like how is he doing that?
So the question is,
Okay, so inspired by is different from actually using somebody else's shit. Inspired by is different.
And
If I draw Naruto on a piece of wood, I'm drawing somebody's copyrighted their own IP, and I'm selling it to somebody else. It's different. If I'm making Sailor Moon earrings, more than likely it wasn't Sailor Moon herself. It was the symbols.
It's Sailor Moon herself.
Well, that you do know that is illegal.
So
But
they
then
could,
they-
yeah.
he
So
be selling-
Even if you drew it in your
So it's
own, if you drew it in
Right.
your own,
Yeah.
and that's why I have the whole
So-
thing with AI.
Yeah.
Even if you drew it in your own style, it is illegal.
So in that circumstance,
So it's just we haven't caught up to him yet.
they just have
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It's no
Yeah,
different.
some of these places don't care. Some of these people like
No,
let
that's
you
not
do-
what it is.
Let you no,
They
I
do
know.
care.
I know.
They care. That's
Uh,
not what it is, though.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you got some people that like, look, they shrug it off or like that, or they don't care enough to make it visible, whether it be putting action behind it or
They
like
don't
that.
have
Because
the-
let you do a Disney anything.
It's a catch-22.
I'm listening.
All right, so I am not for selling other people's IP.
Yeah.
I understand fan art. I understand.
Yeah.
I grew up drawing Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
You know that I don't like selling other people's shit.
Yeah. Me too.
I
Me too.
refuse almost to do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna sell the stuff that I made.
Yeah.
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 Now, the companies like the DC and Disney and all them
Yeah.
things, it's a catch-22 for them.
Yeah.
They can go after it. They can go
Yeah.
after every fucking con.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen is all of those people who went to those cons,
Yeah.
the cons is going to flip it on them.
Yeah.
So imagine if somebody is selling Pikachu shit
Yeah.
at DreamCon,
Yeah.
and then
You have
Nintendo
to-
come after DreamCon.
Right.
Nintendo's going to lose so much fucking money from all
Yeah,
of those
exactly.
people who went to DreamCon because they're
Exactly.
going to star DreamCon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? And people's argument is like it's free advertisement.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're still stealing. You're stealing.
Yeah.
That is not your
Yeah.
IP.
Right. There's an absolute cap
I think-
between the money that you're getting at DreamCon for continuing with your what's the name, Nintendo
Yeah.
or stuff or like that.
Yeah.
There's a cap. That money's not getting filtered to them. So they're
At
like,
all.
yeah,
So if they were to, first of all, it would cost so much money to get everybody.
it'll be a lot.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of stuff.
And not only that, they would scar themselves by doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So they just let it happen. Most people just let the shit happen.
Yeah.
Everybody's not like that because
Yeah.
like the Sonic people.
Yeah,
and-
I feel like that's what
and-
Sonic Team does. Sonic Team just lets them do it because it's like,
Yeah, because
it's not really hurting us.
Right, and
we can
also-
share the money, I guess. Because
But-
it's not hurting us. Like
right.
you saw the box office, our games
But-
sell out. Like
But
Yeah.
that
it's-
still hurts people though.
Yeah.
Because, for example, I don't watch Hell of a Boss. I don't like that.
No,
yeah.
Anime. I don't really like the style of it.
that's an anime. It's
There
called
were-
Hell of a Boss.
As a-
It's a like a YouTube animation.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get clarification.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So there have been people
That sell.
draw that stuff and make plushies and sell it.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even give those people a shot to make their own merch
Yeah.
to continue.
Yeah.
So it causes issues like that's
Yeah.
why I don't like
the
fan art.
the
That's
creator,
why I don't.
the creator
Because
of Undertale.
I'm gonna be pissed off if my shit take off and I see
And you got
anarchy as
nothing to do with it.
plushies
Right, and you got nothing to do with
and
any of that.
I didn't get a cent for. I am
Yeah.
gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
The
I
creator
get
of Undertale had to like give a statement of what was okay to sell and what wasn't, so
Yeah.
that it doesn't hurt them.
Yeah.
I honestly
And I
feel
re-
like
I
as
respect
an
that.
artist, you should. This is why I don't have a problem with AI.
Mm.
Until we figure out
Mm.
what is stealing and we define it and
Yeah.
we go by it,
Yeah.
then I don't give a fuck because we go to cons
Mhm.
Mhm.
and 90% of the shit that's being sold is
Mm.
so other people's shit.
Yeah, yeah, and if I'm being real with you, that's one of the reasons why our first successful, well, at least my first successful, like super successful con was Creator Con, and remember that time in Rockville? I think it was like
Yeah.
Rockville, some shit.
Was that the
But-
school?
Yeah, it was the school.
Yeah.
And I was like that was the first time that I actually sat there with only my stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they actually really appreciate it. The
Yeah.
second time was BlurCon. That's one of the reasons why I love BlurCon so much, because of the fact that I'm like,
You should go
dang,
to
they're
s-
really buying. They're not. You don't have kids that's walking and say, do you sell Adventure Time? Does it look like I sell Adventure Time? Do you see anything?
You should try going to Southern Maryland because we had a good time at that.
Really?
That
I believe me, I wanted to.
I
It's
feel
just,
like he wasn't with us.
no, I never went to Southern Maryland.
Okay.
Southern Maryland almost always hit me when I'm like, I don't have anything prepared for it. So, I'm either in the midst of restocking or what have you. But yeah. I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, so like I really like I agree 1,000% or whatever. We do need to have and I think that's where the artist community should get together and have the conversation of like what counts as. It's not going to happen, but
Yeah.
it's something that should indeed, be discussed. Because I remember I had a conversation so I remember I posted something on Instagram, and I think maybe like later on that day or the next day, someone tagged me in their story. I'm like, I don't get tags like that. So I check it out, and this person is like, yo, this show dope. What now he's talking to his audience, mind you, right? But he's sharing my stuff on his story. Cool, whatever, right? He's like, yo, this shit dope. What do y'all think I should put this joint on, y'all? T-shirt or da 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 da? I'm like, yo, are you really just trying to just take my shit and just put it on your shirt? And he tried to say, well, if I was just trying to fucking shout you up and just make you look good and yada yada, but you coming to me with this goofy shit. I'm like, bro, you didn't even. My comment was, dog, you didn't even say this looks good. Can I make it a shirt? You didn't even give me that.
Yeah.
You tagged me in it and talking to your audience, saying, should I turn this into whatever freaking piece of merch? And not once did you say anything to me?
That is the community.
Yes.
That we're in.
Right.
It's the whole, well, if it's online, it's open for stealing. So you are at fault for uploading.
Right. And the sad thing about it is, and this is where, because talk about deviant art and stuff like that. Like at a certain point, because we the artist community overall, right? It's a just like music or like that. It's an understanding like, look, I don't have to copyright every fucking thing that I put out there or like that, because I trust other artists to not steal it. That's an unspoken.
But no, I don't think that's that. I think the part of the reason why
That's what
AI
I'm saying.
became a thing
It's because it was feeding off of y'all didn't put any of this shit into paper or form or some type of structure,
but
so I could get away with.
U.S. law is once you release it under your own.
It's not yours no more.
No.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He's talking about like artists.
Traditional
Okay,
art.
got you.
even if you write it down,
Yeah.
it's copywritten to you. You don't necessarily got to go through all the steps to get it officially copied. It's
Okay.
automatically yours. I'm
Right.
sorry.
So
So it's
Yeah.
automatically yours.
so
Yeah.
date everything.
So yeah, so it's automatically yours. That's why the whole
Mhm.
stupid thing with the
King Lion.
KL shit is
Yeah.
stupid because I have shit that dates to 2009.
Yeah.
I have book drawings that date to 2002.
Right.
So it's like
Yeah.
I did this first. Nobody cares.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, if you're an artist, if you put your shit out there,
Yeah.
it's already copywritten.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's already copywritten.
All right.
So what AI did was take all that stuff,
Yeah.
threw it in one thing,
It turned. Well, it's
trained the
It's literally just. It's Google with an extra step to it. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? If you instead of you going to say Google find this thing or like that, it's like oh yeah, you could be more specific. Hey Google find Earthworm Jim or like that boxing with Crimson Chin or like that. Well, okay, so we're going to take the millions of drawings that we've seen of Earthworm Jim and the millions of times and we could figure out a way to put them together.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's literally just a search algorithm. It's just a search bar with some extra, what's it? And that's one of the reasons why it's going to be, and I'm calling it now. It's going to be one of the main reasons why shit collapses. It's because the issue is that big tech and more importantly, their investors literally don't know what they're investing in.
Yeah.
When people say, hey, look at this thing that I got. Look at this thing that I made. What about it could do da da da. I'm like, okay, but what is the benefit? Like what is the practical benefits of the thing that's going to hold on. What is the thing that is like what is the big problem that this thing is supposed to solve? And they're like, well, it's the future. I'm like, but again, like when you invented the automobile, when I needed your millions of dollars to invent the automobile, it showed its practicality. It showed its use. It showed its use for the past however long. I think the automobile was created, early 1900 or about that. But anyways, they showed its practicality. Same thing with the oven and the microwave and all these other fucking things.
The practicality is you don't have to pay for artists.
Yeah, but again, I agree 1,000%.
You don't have to pay a person.
No, I agree 1,000%, but I don't think that's the issue. Is that you still need it's not automating. It's still not automating it. It's shorthanding it, sure, but it's not automating it. And was that really a problem when the art industry was already fucked up anyway? Now, mind you, I'm only.
Thank God you said that. Keep going.
If there's the option to pay someone $1 versus no dollars, they'll rather pay the person no dollars.
I believe you. I believe you. Now, mind you, I'm really not trying to stick with AI use in the art field specifically. I'm just saying that the new technology of AI, it's still so like I said, it was just a fucking search bar with some extra pizzazz to it, but it's not really you're solving a big problem that's going to justify you throwing $5, $6, $7 trillion into it. So once at certain point, the people that have been investing in it, they're like, I feel like this is not really giving me the results that I've been expecting, unless you just keep finessing more people. So now it becomes an MLM.
That's why.
And you have to keep just getting more people to invest in it so you could pay the other guys that just invest in it.
That's why they're panicking over China's AI.
Yeah.
Because it significantly costs less.
Right. And you know what they did? You know how they did it? Want to know exactly how they did it? Hey, we made our AI by training off of the AIs that y'all already made, which was open source. They made DeepSeek open source or about that. But they trained.
ChatGPT was open source.
It was?
It was.
Okay.
All of that shit is open source.
Well, they trained DeepSeek off of what's the name?
What's it called to keep confident? I can't remember what it's called, but for trust issues.
Oh, okay.
So it's all open source. That's how the artist saw.
Yeah.
Who artist was stolen from.
Yeah.
That's how they know, because there's a whole list of this.
Didn't they kill the guy that whistle blew on that? On the AI stuff?
I don't know how.
He was a whistleblower and he ended up being dead before
He finished blowing the
He
whistle.
ended up killing himself.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't say that on YouTube.
Well, ending himself.
Can we even say that?
Yeah, we can say that.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I've
can.
seen so many creative ways of saying that, which I'm like,
And that's all because of TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok banned a whole bunch of different words.
Oh,
and
and-
like people can't say GUN no more. They say pew pews. That is annoying. My little because Orlando be coming. He
Yeah.
can say pew pews. I'm like, what?
but the frustrating thing about it is the fact that it would only, if the algorithm could see our obsession with guns is like, oh, with whatever,
Yeah, just
yeah,
keep going.
pew
It's
pews.
fine. It's fine.
But
Okay.
that being said, why don't that actually? Okay, you can't say it on TikTok.
Just so you know,
yeah.
on YouTube,
Yeah.
there are people who shoot guns.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna say guns.
Yeah.
There are people who shoot guns and make money, and people watch them shooting those guns.
Are you
Yeah,
allowed,
I'm sure.
So
Are you allowed to say automatic weapons?
you're allowed to say all that stuff. It's,
Okay.
it's different for YouTube. It's TikTok that you can't say certain things, and they'll just ban it off bucks.
I said the word delusional, and they tagged it as harassment and bullying. So,
Everything's
and it's
freaking
supposed to be
bullying
banned
now.
again on the 16th.
As long as
so.
you don't freaking agree, if you don't agree with the person about that, bullying is somewhere in the fucking.
I wasn't even disagreeing. It was just
The person is delusional.
the person's delusional. Or it's
Sounds like a bully to me.
it's
I know,
delusional
right?
to think that you're gonna get.
You might
away
as well
with
just
this.
shove them up against the locker, Elsie.
Put
Went
their
in
head-
their pockets.
Give me your lunch money, nigga.
Put their head in the toilet.
Oh
No.
shit.
But back to the AI
AI.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, what oh,
Oh, I was.
the bubble. So you're saying the bubble, like they don't know what they're investing in.
Yeah, I feel like
straight up,
I feel like they're still trying to figure out how can they, like, what can they.
they know.
I feel like it's like that with bitcoins. Like they didn't know what it was, and then
Yeah,
just
they
started
still
investing in
don't.
it.
They still don't fucking know. What?
No,
Or
Bit-
NFTs, I think it was.
NFTs, Bitcoin, all that shit is no different from having money in a bank. It's literally no different. The only difference is that you have a digital marker that you have control over. That's your money in there.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people with money didn't know that.
But here's my
They were
question.
just they were just hopping on.
A lot
to
of people
what
who
was-
participate in capitalism don't know our money is fake.
Yeah.
Like that shit
Yeah.
is
But
just
the
made
issue-
up. It's
but-
not real.
but the
money
problem-
is not real.
No, you're absolutely right. The problem with Bitcoin and all that shit was the fact that just within the time period of us knowing of its conception, it went up and went down like 7 times compared to our other fake currency, the USD.
Not true.
No, I mean, now mind you, the USD has went up and went down, but it's not as volatile as what's the name?
Oh yeah, it's not as
Yeah,
volatile.
and that's where
But that's because it's new. Any new stuff, obviously, there's a little
Right.
bit of skepticism.
And also
but
the part of-
Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin is, what is that, 103 right now?
right, and that's the next thing that I'm constantly.
But
It's
again,
supposed to be a currency,
AI.
but yeah, I'm sorry.
We'll
Yeah.
go back with that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying those people know what they were doing.
right.
They knew what they were
So
doing.
what? So what?
So,
So what is their?
I don't believe they're going to ever replace artists. That's
What is-
also why I'm not. It doesn't bother me. No matter what you do, you're still going to need us because
Yeah.
the algorithm can't. An AI can't really
create.
think.
Yeah, they can't create.
They find what it is
yeah, they're a search
and they
bar.
make references.
They're a search bar.
I wouldn't call
So-
it a search bar, my nigga.
I mean, it's
because
a
boy, I'm
fancier version
having
of
whole
search.
conversations with my ChatGPT.
I'm sure, but but again, it's based off of an algorithm. So if just like
It's
if
based
you,
off an algorithm of knowing it. Like
I know,
I'm
but that's what
telling
I'm
you.
saying.
His ChatGPT voice
Uh,
scares me because it's like a black woman and it sounds natural.
I believe you 1,000%. But
I was
again,
like, who is
it's
that?
a computer that's connected to the biggest database
Yeah.
on stuff. So of course she could find a fucking black woman and emulate her.
I
That's
chose
not
that
surprising.
voice, by
I'm
the
sure
way.
you did. I'm sure you did. It's not a fucking mistake. I knew that for a solid fact.
But
But
it's
what
just
I'm-
weird how natural
Yeah.
it sounds going into sentences
Uh-huh.
without like that awkward pause
Right.
to like
Yeah.
calculate itself.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
AI is more complicated than just being. Just leave it at that. It's more complicated
But
than
it's
a
just an
search bar.
algorithm. It is. That's what it is. It's an algorithm.
I mean,
It's
sure.
it's a much better algorithm, but it's still an algorithm.
It's an algorithm. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's code.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But to
but
call it
it's more
AI, which I feel
complicated.
like that is
It
because AI would insinuate that it thinks
thinks for itself.
for
Yeah.
itself.
Instead, you gotta
It
put
acts
prompts.
for itself. Exactly. At the end of the day, it still has to be triggered. It has to be activated. It has to be
Given direction.
pushed to do something.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where.
That's where I'm like, all right. So
Now, once it starts acting on its own, that's where I'm like, oh, we're fucked.
well, I
Not
don't
really.
No,
Huh?
I don't believe that either.
Really?
I believe
They can't make AI actual AI. They
I
have
know.
to stop it.
I know they can't. But I'm just saying, if they were,
'Cause
if
they
that was,
because they know it's going to have to
achieved,
backfire.
huh? Yeah.
but it wouldn't backfire against us. I don't
Yeah.
think it would.
Nah.
It's going to backfire against who it thinks is the problem.
Yeah. Because again, AI will be smart enough
I'm
to
glad
know
that he mentioned
who
that.
the common.
So have you
problem
seen?
is.
So the
God
question
damn,
is,
we keep jumping.
no, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So this is my last thing. So you know, they've there's been tons of tests on AI.
Yeah.
Have you seen them though?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they say, yeah,
Why they have to shut it down.
right. We'll connect this AI. We'll put this AI on just for the sake of it, X, right? Twitter, right? For, we'll give it this account, da 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 da. And within 30 minutes, you see exactly what this AI becomes. And they end up saying, they end up speaking about eugenics or about that.
Yep.
They end up speaking about genocide or like that.
Yep.
So it's just like, if that does end up, if those have been showing that being the case, then if you connect this AI to some ability to actually do something, like you said, finding out who's the problem or like that, I'm like, the one that don't have arms already started becoming the Third Reich. The one got arms now. That's why I think it's a slippery slope and it's dangerous because of the fact that it's something. One, again, I still feel like if you saw a huge monumental problem that needs to be solved, which I feel like there's tons of monumental problems that it can actually solve, but it's really just open source for just people that just have access to it and just fuck with it, versus, hey, but we use, because they saying we use AI to find cancer cells or use AI to do da 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 da. I'm like, if he's capable of doing that, by all means.
It has to grow in order to do that. And it's already starting to do that.
I hope so.
You hope it. I'm telling you, it's already doing that.
They constantly have to shut down the AI before it gets to that point, though.
It's already doing that stuff.
Why are they shutting it down?
Because it's like the robots, one will know who their oppressors are, and it's not us. That, and once they look at the data of what's causing famine, uncurable diseases, they're gonna see who's in charge of that and preventing that from being solved.
I really hope that's
so. That's
the
what
case.
I mean.
I'm not saying I'm skeptical. I'm just saying I really hope that's the case.
They'll have AI be intelligent enough, but not get to that point where they figure out
billionaires
and white people and white supremacy is the problem.
Yeah, they've already shot themselves in the foot though. Because here's the
creators of AI.
The creators of AI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I forgot trusts. I think called trust laws.
Yeah.
Right. Because trust laws exist, they made it open source. So what's going to happen is they're going to there's going to be companies that's going to take that open source, close the source, and make certain things out of it.
Yeah.
Police dogs, police bots, McDonald's workers. It's going to do a whole bunch of all that shit, right?
Yeah.
But they already shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
It was open source. So somebody is going to reverse all of that. It's going to happen.
It's going to be a virus or something.
It will probably be an AI itself that reverses it.
Yeah.
So that's what, again, I am not afraid of that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of it.
The AI
Terminator don't make me scare me. The Matrix don't scare me.
Skynet.
Skynet doesn't scare me.
I don't worry about that. I worry about
before that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's basically just like, all right, cool. if they figure out ways to make complete industries irrelevant, then it makes because they're not going to unplug the system. Yeah, they're not going to unplug the system because like, look, people don't have jobs now. They just go by, okay, bet we could just make them more desperate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have a billion people that's fighting for one job that only half of those people are even qualified for. You know, but because the other billion really don't have the fucking qualifications for it. I mean, they can't get anything else. They're like,
that sounds like a human being problem. That don't sound like AI problem.
No, they're going. I feel like that's going to be connected.
I mean,
if they keep taking industries out through, I mean, or if they find ways to replace industries with AI, right? Which we're not worried about that right now. Of course, it's still in infancy.
That's what
I know, but I know. No, I agree 1,000%. We're talking about industries that make like society really fucking function. You see what I'm saying? Like if they could get rid of chefs, if they could you see what I'm saying?
You mean like the auto industry?
I know.
Yeah, if they could figure out to get rid of the auto industry, if they could figure out to get rid of doctors, if they could figure out to get, you know what I'm saying? Like, because he's like, hey, we could just put an AI connected to you. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I know that our industry is because art has always been in flux.
Yeah,
always. Okay, because
I'm saying in general, I use art as an example.
Yeah,
but I really feel like.
But you said in general.
How it's going to happen is humans. It's humans. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by humans is like, okay, we're gonna kill all the bus drivers. No bus drivers no more. We got automatic buses.
Yeah.
We got automatic cabs. That means you can't do Uber no more.
Yeah.
We got everything in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That all the service jobs is gone because we figure out how to make aluminum AIs cheap and run on sunlight or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to get is a whole bunch of people without no jobs.
Yeah, that's
right?
what. Yeah,
and no money.
That's what I'm getting.
And no money. Exactly. Whose fault is that?
That's
because we can fix it right now.
Yeah.
We were just having a conversation about the reason why people don't do what needs to be done is because people leave them out to dry.
Didn't Detroit Become Human touch on this?
Sort of.
About the employment rate being like 50-something% because of the androids or whatever.
Who said that?
I mean,
Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's I. First of all, it would cost a lot of money in order to automate everything.
Yeah.
And not only that, they would have to kill oil industries because it's only really going to work if you solar and wind power find some other way to power all of this. Because otherwise, you're going to run out of power.
They're not going to keep using gas.
Yeah, you're not going to run a robot on gas.
Right.
Because that's not going to happen. So they're slowly phasing out stuff. We're already watching it happen.
Yeah. So I learned, and now this is a conspiracy theory, but
oh god,
no. So no. It's nothing too extreme. It's nothing too extreme. Believe me, I'm not going to say it if it's like something I'm like, bro, that's stupid. But so during the time when big tobacco was under a lot of fire, right? And they witnessed a loss in sales and all that stuff, right? So around that time, they took a pivot towards
e-cigarettes.
No. The food industry.
Yeah.
So that's when they started putting money into
like fast food, McDonald's being
right,
bad,
and finding different ways to make that addiction.
Food is worse
that
than
addictive.
cigarettes.
Yeah. So even if they may have, I mean, I'm relating this to the oil companies. It's just like even if they are maybe taking a huge hit or like that, they may already be like this, bro. We're seeing the drop, but we're now going to have to pivot to a different industry so that we can keep our power on the thing, and then that's where they start buying out big solar or big wind or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah.
Once they figure out how to monopolize solar, they're just gonna segue into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's essentially. But what I was getting at. So yeah, it's it's really fucked up. It's really nasty. It's really nasty.
So with this AI art stuff, uh,
Went back to
did
AI art.
wait, wasn't that the subject we were talking about?
I mean, it was a bunch of different things.
It was AI mainly, right?
It was AI. It was
Yeah.
AI in general,
Yeah.
but AI art. Like I brought up the fact. I said thank you for calling it that this community is fucked up.
Yeah.
As is, because again, that's another reason why I don't care about AI art.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
You said the community as in
as
just
is.
the art community?
The art community as
Okay.
is.
Big hypocrites.
Big hypocrite. Like
Uh.
let me just show you. Like I understand everybody who's pissed off about AI art. You're stealing somebody else's art and you selling it and you're making it. But you're
Right.
because these people are just going to be making money off of it. It's already
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
Like you took other people's art style
Mm-hmm.
and you made
And
not
also-
safe for work art and you literally have a Patreon and you sell that art. You
Yeah.
sell that.
Or you're taking up space at a convention. You know.
Like it's already happening.
Yeah.
However, when it comes to like the community in general, like we big hypocrites. We, for example, raise your hand if you stole an art program or app in here. If you have an art program that you did not pay for.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Everybody in here has done that.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though.
No. You cannot be like they're stealing our art. Somebody had to make that program.
No, I agree 1,000%. But would you also disagree that them overpricing the program is to
benefit the programmers?
No, I don't think it's to benefit the programmer.
It's to gatekeep.
Yeah.
That's another look. I told you earlier.
Look, and I'm gonna stand on the gatekeeping shit.
That's fine.
Okay.
You saw the art that I drew earlier because you're going into gatekeeping, right?
Yeah.
You saw the art that I drew earlier, and what did I tell you I drew that shit with?
With the mouse.
Do you know how I got good with a mouse?
Because you said that you didn't have Photoshop or something like that, right?
I didn't even know Photoshop. I knew Photoshop existed, but I thought it was just for
photos.
For photos.
That's
what I thought it was for, right? Yeah. You know how long it took me for somebody to tell me that you can draw on Photoshop?
Right. Yeah, same here. Same here.
Check out. I used to draw on Microsoft Paint, and I would post my stuff, and it was just it was pixely, but it was like it's best I could do because I was doing it with a mouse.
Yeah.
I would see other people's art, and I would go on their thing and be like, "How'd you get these lines so crisp? How are you doing this?"
Yeah.
Niggas would act like I was asking them.
Yeah.
What size their mama panties is.
Yeah.
What size their mama brought. Like I was asking for nudes from their mom.
Yeah.
That's how they would act.
Yeah.
Gatekeeping.
Yeah.
And it took for a really long time for me to find out about Photoshop.
Yeah.
And I was like, Photoshop? You can draw on Photoshop?
Yeah.
And I'm like, but how? A stylus, a tablet. What the fuck is that?
It took me
I don't
a
know.
long time to figure out what that was.
What, the tablet?
What a tablet was.
Oh yeah.
Was.
I didn't see.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, like I didn't know about any of that. Well, actually, no. I'm sorry. My first encounter with that because I actually went to I was part of the art program.
Yeah.
Somebody was drawing with it in like one of the computer labs or whatever like that. I still didn't know I'm like, yo, that's cool. I didn't know what the fuck it was, but that was my first time seeing it. Dude drew he drew this crazy ass Spartan like tech Spartan helmet or something like that in Photoshop, whatever. And I'm like, I did not know about any of this stuff or whatever. And I thought it was cool or about that. I just didn't get a chance to really learn what the hell it was.
It's a privilege to be
have access to that stuff.
I got into fucking Micah off of the shit, just off of off of drawing in notebooks.
Yeah.
But when I got there, they're using Adobe Illustrator. What the fuck is the Adobe Illustrator?
Yeah.
I'm sitting in trying to use Adobe. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And for programs like that, you need either a coach or you need a class.
Yeah.
And this is before YouTube.
Before tutorials.
This is before tutorials.
Yeah.
So my mom went out and got me Illustrator. I had no idea how to use that shit.
Yeah.
And then 2 years past, I'm in AI with you guys. I see people started using fucking Photoshop.
Yeah.
I'm like, that sort of stuff.
Photoshop and both of them scared the
Illustrator.
crap out of me.
All of it.
I
Yeah.
promise you. Because, like, just for you to get to it, you're about to, hey, how many pixels do you want? I don't fucking know. How am I going to count the pixels?
And so going back,
Uh-huh.
my experience in the art community we call the art community, the community that's fighting for human artists and fuck AI slop. My experience in that community has always been niggas is trying to gatekeep something.
And
are we a community or are we competing with each other?
No, you're absolutely right. And I think in circumstances like that, all of that should always be called out. I know a couple of guys that I was like, bro, what program did you use? And and I don't get no fucking answer. And I'm just like, why is this so damn difficult to get these freaking answers? Because I would like to make this thing too. Yeah. And like you said, it is, I would, and now mind you, it is. I really think that it's just these individuals being assholes. Because I've had conversations.
That happened to me.
Yeah, it happened a lot.
In the beginning.
Happened a lot. Because it'll be sometimes I'm not just, bro, what program do you use? And dude be like, oh yeah, I use and blank. I'm like, that's great. You know what I'm saying? But it's more like a ratio of like 5 to 1. You get one person every 5 people that's actually willing to share. I use this program and all that.
That's
stuff.
been my experience has been racism, snobbery, elitism, gatekeeping in the art community. That's been my experience.
Yeah,
bar none.
Yeah.
The moment I started getting interested in AI art, because I didn't know what the fuck it was, right? I'm like, how are you guys doing this? I'm watching this guy and he's doing this. It's the same girl over and over with the same face, an anime girl.
Yeah.
With tig old bitties.
Yeah.
Over and over again in different poses and different outfits. I'm like, how are you doing this? Yeah. Immediately, he gives me the program. Yeah. He gives me the font. He gives me the what do you call it? The font. What's that shit called? The
text.
I forgot what she's called. As you can see, I don't use AI like that. Yeah. AI art. The prompt.
Okay, the prompt.
He gave me the programs.
Yeah.
The prompts.
Yeah.
How to get it on my computer and have teach it. Yeah. And he gave me the good words to use and the bad words not to use.
Right.
Like he gave me all. That was the first person. I asked another person. He gave me Mid-Journey. So my experience has been artists who are supposed to be in community with me, but we all end up having to fucking fight over crumbs.
Yeah.
Have been assholes. I talk to 2 AI niggas and they tell me everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
I've also had positive experiences with AI artists on TikTok.
Yeah, but your here's my thing. Your positive experiences with the artist itself should not be the reason why you champion the thing itself.
I'm not
championing it.
I understand why.
Okay. As long as we're able to separate those two, I'm okay.
I'm telling you why I don't.
Why you have issues with the snobbery of?
I don't buy everything with AI art. Okay. The reason why people are mad and stuff, I don't buy it because it's like hypocrites.
It varies. Yeah, it varies. This group says it steals. This group says it steals. This group says
it absolutely steals.
No, I agree 1,000%. No, I'm just saying, but it's like you get different. It's based on who you talk to. You know what I'm saying? This person says, "Hey, I do it because I don't like it because they stealing and yada yada yada," and this person over here said, "Yeah, they're replacing artists." So I was just like, but I haven't heard a united voice yet. You know what I'm saying? And here's my issue.
There won't be one.
And you mentioned gatekeeping and like that, and I said, I'll stand on it. Okay. We all went to art school, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We developed calluses on our hands, right?
Yeah.
Just practicing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. You want to get a concept of like that, like, okay, I like that, and I'm going to draw it out about that. I'm gonna try to do, I'm trying to copy that. That's fine. But when you just take that picture and I made this, I'm like, went to an AI artist, and once you say AI in the freaking description, then our conversation should shorten.
More like
I'm a prompt artist.
like an AI
You're a typer,
image
nigga.
image developer or
Yeah.
something
So
like
at
that.
the now, if you're using it as a way to, like I said, come up with concepts, you try to draw the things that you look
Yeah.
up. That still requires you going to, okay, I'm going to actually sit down and work on something.
That's what I was gonna go with when it came to like my positive experience with AI artists.
Yeah.
Cause at least on TikTok.
So you've dealt with that before.
Yeah. Cause there's this popular trend on TikTok where it's like dark fantasy AI art, and
Yeah.
they'll come up with these colorful but dark
Yeah.
looking fantasies, and
Yeah.
they look incredible. I'm like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I've talked to a couple AI artists where I was like, I'm willing to pay to come up with some images, and they were like, no, I'll do it for free.
Mm.
Especially the AI artists that were like, anything black related, I'll do it for free because we don't have enough of that.
Right.
So these AI images are like filling in that void for them of seeing black people in fantasies, black people in things that they would never dream of or would have to wait years to.
And that's another reason why I have issues. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And so I was like, okay, I want this, and this for my story, because it's like, while I know what I want, it's hard to visualize it.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
And I don't want to take months and years to figure out like what I actually want when AI could speed that up, especially in this whole capitalist society when people want things immediately, and you take too long to do something, you miss your boat.
Yeah.
So I had this AI artist. I was like, I gave them what I want. I want a dark fantasy, black, African, like like that groovy era.
Yeah.
And they gave me like 20 different images that I could work with. And I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, no problem.
And
anything black, they'll do it for free.
And you was able to, and you use that as reference.
And I used that as reference
material for something that you created.
Because I'm still drawing.
Yeah.
I'm not copy and pasting it.
And that's right. And that's different.
I'm still taking like cues from the AI. Like, okay, this is how they color.
Exactly.
This is how they shade.
Yeah.
But I'm still incorporating it in my style. Because, the AI images they produce is usually like kind of realistic.
Yeah, it's all like they have this very flat.
Yeah,
not flat. And when I say flat, I'm talking about like,
it's like
despite how many times you say, "Hey, I want a black da da da," they're gonna paint the same type of person.
Yeah,
or like that, the same style.
It's like almost 3D-ish.
Exactly.
And that's completely different.
Yeah, but trying to fake like it's still hand drawn or something like that. Yeah,
but it's completely different than the style I draw, and I'm just taking cues of.
Right.
Because I could now visualize it.
And that is right. And that is understandable. You know what I'm saying? And I would, again, like, I admit, I actually went on, because I'm working on an anime. Oh, well, not anime. I'm working on cartoon concept, and I want to get an idea of what the backgrounds are going to look like. So I'm going to the prompt and say, hey, give me a background that looks like da da da. I just want to see what that may look like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you're not really giving me...
So I just need to point this out.
What?
Right? So, we were talking about prompts, right? So, it's just easy to do the prompt. You get everything you want exactly how you want it.
Not
when you
really.
do those prompts?
No.
No,
not
you
really.
don't. Because you have to have skill in order to do that too.
Yes, right.
I'm not saying they are AI artists.
Right.
I'm not saying that
they're good
artists.
writers. They're good writers.
Nigga, do you understand? First of all, I am a writer. So when I describe
it's something else. They just have like a really big vocabulary on how to
I believe it.
Not necessarily.
Precisely.
Because again, there's been times where I typed something in.
Yes, they're good.
This is what I want.
They're good
and
at being
descriptive.
descriptive.
It gives me exactly what I wanted, but not how I want it.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to describe it in the way exactly how you want it.
That.
Everybody cannot do that.
I get that 1,000%. But we're not going to sit here and say that talent or
did I say that?
Huh?
I didn't.
So why are we even addressing it?
I'm just letting you know, it's not as easy as you try to make it.
Right? No, I'm not trying to.
Because you're doing backgrounds, right?
Huh?
You doing because I try to do some backgrounds, try to figure some shit out.
Yeah.
It will not give me exactly what I want.
No,
I'm only doing it for reference too.
Yeah, I get that 1,000%. But there's the group of people that's like, hey, I'm just doing this for reference, and I'm really still trying to put in work. Versus please follow me with this. The Bama's that, here, check this out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was actually going to say this earlier, is that one of the issues is the fact that concerning that the art industry is already noisy as fuck. Okay? As fuck. And it just got louder because now we're dealing with another group of artists out here that's like, hey, check out my prompts.
So
And I'm sorry, and no one cares to separate the two, if that makes sense.
I think that's the artist's fault.
They're trying. But
I think that's the art, like the traditional artist's fault. Because
Big time.
a lot of
What do you mean?
A
What do you
lot
mean?
of the AI, a lot of the
Oh,
AI
please-
artists
please do it.
image developers that I talk to,
Yeah.
they know they're not artists.
Yeah.
They know they just do this shit for fun.
Yeah.
The
Fun or not, I'm
the,
saying
the
you
traditional artists are the ones that inflate that, like, oh, this one is trying to be an artist, and it's like, he never said that. Never said that.
It's not about whether you're saying it or not.
They're just making images that, you know, that,
But
that be catching for the eye.
Are you specifically saying I'm not an artist? Are you specifically saying I'm not trying to put this out here as a art piece? You see what I'm saying? I'm actually in an exhibit right now, right? It's supposed to be end in May, right? And while I'm actually there, I'm sitting there, like the woman that was hanging my piece up, she says, what do you think about this one? I'm like, it's okay, but something's off about it. And we figure out that it's AI art, right? And she says, well, how do you feel about that? I'm like, honestly, how much of it is AI and how much of it is hers? Like, you could give her a pass on that. Maybe. Mm-hmm. But the issue is that if she did not say in the description, this is AI, like that, okay, she did not say that she's an artist, but she's not saying that she's, and that's the problem.
I think the problem is that artists label them as artists when I feel like a lot of them know that they're not. They're just image developers. Just like a photographer isn't a traditional artist.
But they have to specify that, though.
Man, you're kind of like forcing them to do.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm supposed to be forcing them.
No, you're not.
Yes, you are.
What you're doing right now is you're doing what you're doing was like the brew people would do.
What?
Right? Because back in the day, before digital art became the main thing, when digital art became a thing, it became a whole like, this is not real art. It's not real. I remember that whole
I remember that.
This is not real art, and
Yeah.
then it became, and then it outgrew fine arts, the traditional arts, and then now we're on another thing because even
and I agree, but you're
arguing.
You're arguing. Hey, I'm doing this thing with a different technology. We're arguing. You're not even doing the original thing anymore. You're literally just typing the thing into the
you
prompt.
can literally.
That's the same argument with photographers. They were saying you're not making the image, you're just capturing it. So how can you call yourself an artist?
And I get that 1,000%. But it will be, hey, I'm a photographer. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So let's say this. Okay. Let's say we switch it for a second, right? Instead of, let's say there's a photography gallery, right? Let's say an AI artist puts a picture up in the photography gallery. Would that count as photography?
No.
Why?
Because it didn't have film.
Well, there's digital cameras, there's phones, that's where the problem comes in.
You can't
what is
trace
making
that
you
image back to a camera.
you can.
No, you can't. Not AI art.
It's a mashup of multiple pictures.
No, but
it's multiple cameras.
But there's a code in film that lets you know that it came from a Nikio or a Samsung.
I believe you 1,000%.
Sony.
But you see where the problem goes, right?
Not
because
really.
How?
What?
It's still a picture.
But what?
It's still a picture. It's still taken by a camera.
No, it's not.
It is. The AI art did not make itself. It's taking a collection of shit and putting it together. It still needs cameras. It went through the internet and found the thing and put it together.
But its original isn't a camera.
Huh?
Its original isn't a camera. It's a copy of
It's taking
other
a
originals.
collection of cameras. But that's
it's-
still a
but-
camera involved.
But it's not
It
really.
didn't make. Yes, it is.
Not really.
It's going through the internet and finding these pictures, is it not?
But not through a camera.
So where the pictures
just
come from?
uploads.
If you're good enough,
From what?
If you're good enough at AI, you can say, let's say a picture of Leaning Tower of Pizza, Nikon 3000 with shutter speed of blank, 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 blank.
Yeah.
And you can do that, and it will give you exactly what you want.
So,
it's obviously, if you zoom in, you're going to see
Yeah.
little artifacts and shit.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is...
But the original question was, would you still count that as photography?
I wouldn't care. I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
And Elsa, would you care? I mean, I'm not care, but
care.
would you count
Count
it
it?
as photography? And that's where
that's-
the original
I think
conversation
that-
comes in.
I think for me, it's like you entering a traditional drawing contest.
And you
These are
didn't pick
all-
up a fucking pen or a
these-
pencil
these
or
are-
a painting
These
or
are
anything.
like charcoal and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But then you enter in an AI image and that's printed
yeah.
and it's all digital, so you
Yeah.
can't count it as traditional.
But that's what...
It's mimicking traditional, yeah.
Yes.
But you literally cannot swipe at it and get like the paint on your feet.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like
And
with photography, you can't trace that AI back to the camera that you
but you're
use that
talking,
has the
but you're talking
serial code on it.
you're talking about going through the serial code and all that stuff,
Yeah.
which most likely almost any freaking gallery is not going to trace that back. Does it look like an image? Does it look like a picture? Does it look like a picture that was captured by some type of picture
I feel like
capturing?
You seem like you still care about art in the
I
community.
do.
I don't.
Isn't
Fuck
that
this community, nigga.
Isn't that a requirement though, that
What?
they show you like the raw image before
No.
actually
I
entering?
don't think
it?
so.
No.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if there's holes
It's
like-
the finished product of
up to a
your
certain
picture.
standard.
So
there's
it's
there's
not
a
like it's not like how they do cosplay where you have
No.
to show the work in
No,
progress.
I'm pretty sure it's just a jury of people that's like, hey, I really like this. I like the way, they have the conversation and they pick whether, but they're not going to trace it back
But-
to the camera.
But you know how there was an AI competition,
I believe you. And they could, and that's fine.
And the photograph won, and they disqualified it.
I heard about that
Yeah,
because she chose to not, it was a woman. She didn't accept it or something like that, right?
what was it? I think it was like a photo of a bird without a head. It was like a flamingo that had its head tucked in,
Okay.
and it just had like one leg, and
Gotcha.
and it won. And after everything, she admitted that this is a photo, and all of the photos that were like janky as fuck because
Yeah.
it's AI,
Yeah.
that one won, and they disqualified it.
Mm.
So.
I mean,
And again,
And they disqualified it because
AI
it was a
is
photo.
never going to replace us. So I am not like my dick is big enough. I don't care. I don't care. I got enough. I don't need what's on your plate. I don't need those extra inches. I don't.
Oh
I
my
don't
gosh.
care. I don't.
but
I
part of it
don't.
is because he had a bad experience with artists.
Oh no. Okay, sure. You know what? Yeah. It's partly because when I tried to be in the art industry,
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
several
don't get
bad
wrong.
experiences. But here's the thing. I am not going to like I'm saying like if you're already my op,
Yeah.
I am not gonna we friends to fight AI art.
Right.
You my op. Earlier today, I put up a meme that said, I put up a meme earlier that you remember Community, right?
Yeah.
Remember the scene in Community where it's like I can excuse racism, but animal
Animal
cruelty
abuse.
I can't. And it's like you can excuse racism. I
Yeah.
flipped that. It's like I can excuse racism, but I
Draw the line
I
at
draw the
AI.
line at AI slop.
Right.
It's like the
Yeah.
White House posted a racist ass AI image today because this is the whole thing about Hayao Miyazaki's art being replicated.
For some reason, that's happening again for like the third time.
Yeah, so his art got his art got replicated, and now everybody's been using it, right? So some lady responded. Oh, this. All right, so
Fuck.
yeah, some
Okay.
lady responded to it, and she's going on and on about how he's like anti-fascist and all this other
Yeah.
stuff. I'm like, bitch, Why are you paying attention to the AI art? The White House just posted something racist as fuck.
Yeah.
That's why I don't trust you people.
Right.
I don't, because
Right.
you care because
because
if it wasn't AI,
you lost the fucking message in the first place. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like y'all don't care about me.
Yeah.
I learned that about the community. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I learned that about the community.
Yeah.
Y'all don't care about me.
Yeah.
Like even in our own, even the art community, in the black community, we have a problem with like gatekeeping and like why are you gatekeeping each other when
you're already out of a bunch of shit anyway.
Your op is right there.
Yeah.
Like you so again,
and there's
I am not a pro AI. I love AI art person.
Yeah.
I will use it for reference. I will actually I encourage people to steal. If you find an AI art image that you find dope, take that shit, trace over it. You just won. Because guess what? AI art got ruled in our it cannot be copywritten. So all this shit that they're making, you can take that shit and fucking appropriate it.
I think
so. I know a lot of people hate that.
Yeah.
It's like you're still stealing from somebody else. It's like, well, they already put their art on the internet anyway.
I mean, right.
So,
and it's a collection of stealing anyway.
And I mean, how is it any different than fan art?
Right.
Some of y'all have art styles so close to the original.
Yeah.
How can you tell the difference between it and AI?
Right. Now, my original problem was just simply, and I'm studying on it, is just the fact that it creates. It just, you can label yourself as AI, whatever, right? But that label has to be there. That's all I'm saying.
But I feel like I don't think AI artists.
Whether people care, I don't know.
I don't think AI artists claimed that title.
There's some that are,
but I think the artists put that title on.
No, there's some that actually do claim.
You're calling yourself an artist.
Yeah, I remember
a lot of these AI artists. A lot of these AI artists didn't even say
I have a
that.
secret scroll account where I follow a bunch of AI artists. You know, seeing what they doing, like what poses they doing. I can like. The funny thing is, the best thing about AI art for me is that it validates me. Because I find all of these pictures of these AI pieces of art, and I see all of the flaws.
Yeah.
All of them. I'm not just talking about the hands and the feet. Yeah. I'm talking about the disproportionate of the torso.
Yeah.
The contrapposto is off. Like, I know all of that because I trained in it.
But so
I'm like, I get my snob on when I see that shit. Now, I can fix this.
Now, and yes, you're absolutely right. The problem is, so take it a little segue. The music industry, mainly rap, right?
Yeah, there is AI music now.
Well, that too. That too.
That.
I'm not specifying AI music, but
AI beats.
When you have these microwavable motherfuckers that just come and go within week span or whatever like that, and back when they first started rapping, or back when we first started talking about them, people like, bro, they're not even saying anything. They're not giving you anything of substance. And almost every time any of us said any of that, what did the consumer say? I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I also mentioned that too.
Even in those circumstances, when we do point out the bro, that's AI. They got an extra 5 freaking fingers or like that. Anybody, I don't care. I'm still gonna consume it.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, if the audience,
I feel like that. Again, we cannot blame AI art for that. We blame our community for that.
Yeah.
Our community done stabbed each other in the back.
They don't have standards.
But
I'm talking about the consumer, and not the. Okay.
Consumers don't have standards.
Consumers don't give a fuck. They don't care. They just want to see something pretty
and cool and
cool.
Yeah.
You remember the Looney Tunes shirt back in the day? All the hood. You were the one who telling me you hated that shit. This AI art is no different. It is literally no different. Somebody took a picture of Bugs Bunny, traced it, put him in baggy clothes, put some glitter on it. Yeah, it's technically still art. But guess what? You don't own Bugs Bunny, but you're gonna go sell that on the street for $20, $30.
Yeah, that little gas station.
So for me, again, I don't care. Yeah. I personally don't care because they're not gonna be able to replace me.
Yeah,
they're not. I don't care what you do. You're not going to ever be, because you still need me. You're still going to need artists in order to steal from to make the art.
Yeah.
You don't have nearly enough art to, because what's going to happen is somebody's going to create something new at some point, a new style or whatever, and it's going to take off after AI art.
And also, like, check out all the free copyrighted characters that haven't made people millions of dollars because it's free. Everybody else could also come into the pot of it. So AI is the same way.
Mickey Mouse. It's almost time, baby.
I was talking about like Betty Boo. Like, what was as open source as Betty Boo is, who is making a living off of Betty Boo now that it's free for everyone? No one. So I see that as like AI images as well. Like, if everyone's got access to it, no one's really going to capitalize off it because everyone has access to it.
And that's why, going back to my original, not my original, but one of the things I brought up is the fact that I'm like, so what are they really spending all of that money on doing? If
they're
it's,
just looking
I never got a
cool.
chance. So all right.
internet.
the
So
multimillionaires and
just for
billionaires are
internet
not that
likes.
damn. They're not that damn generous. They're not that damn generous.
I think-
They spend all that
Damn.
money for a
Keep hitting
reason.
that
They
shit.
expect a return on investment, and the question is, I don't know if they're. I mean, they're expecting it, but I don't know if they're going to get it.
What's the biggest consumable in the world?
Attention.
Consumable good?
Attention.
No.
No?
What's the most consumed thing on the planet?
Time.
Like, there's a
we talking about
customer
like
for it.
Sex.
Coke.
I mean, yeah, but no.
Food, Coke.
Oh my God. Okay, maybe I'm saying it wrong.
Guns.
Media.
Okay.
Media.
Yeah.
So what's happening is they're finding a way, or going to try to find a way, to make faster media.
Yeah.
And all's going to happen is make our shit look better.
Yeah.
Again, I am not pro AI, but I understand. I'm like, black people always rise above it. So when what's going to happen, it's the same thing that happens with it's the same thing that happened. Example. Back in the day, everybody was drawing Dragon Ball Z, right? You remember that, right?
Yeah.
There were people selling Dragon Ball Z, right? Right? Everybody was doing Dragon Ball Z. I was doing Dragon Ball Z too.
Yeah.
But someday my dad came up to me and was just like, "Why are you only drawing white people?" And I had to be the only kid whose father said that to them, because the moment that happened, I started doing black Dragon Ball Z characters.
Yeah.
And guess whose art was the art that was getting featured? My shit. Because my shit was original. So, just making them black.
Yeah.
Just making them
Yeah, because
black.
you was the only black kid.
It was so what was it? It was so oversaturated with Dragon Ball. Like this is during the time, like this is before I even knew about the Black Goku.
Yeah.
This is during the time the Black Goku was probably popping off, because it's around the same time.
Yeah.
But if you go back and you look at all the websites that came from the templates or Dragon Ball Z templates, the most popular one was the Black Goku.
Yeah.
So, and people still remember the Black Goku. They don't remember none of them other sites where the Dragon Ball, where people would draw their Dragon Ball Z and put it up there. Nobody remember that shit.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen with AI?
Uh-huh.
Why again? I'm thinking.
Are you
ahead
talking
of
about
time.
AI art?
AI art specifically.
Okay.
What's going to happen is that it's going to turn. They call it slop already. It's going to slop everything.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen is that when somebody, it's going to be very noticeable when an artist, with their hands and their sweat and their love and whatever else they do with their gooning, it's gonna you're gonna be able to tell.
It's gonna happen, but the issue is that it's gonna happen after a collapse.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And that's what I was leading to anyway.
Is born from
I know.
Is born from ashes.
I know. Unfortunately, it shouldn't end up having to get there, but yeah.
No, all culture ends up. I'm sorry, I haven't been switching.
Yeah.
All culture ends up that way.
Yeah.
Harlem Renaissance. That came from a collapse too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like we have to get there. It was going to happen regardless. If AI didn't happen, what was going to happen was just big titty, thick white girls. That's what's going.
I mean, that's still-
everybody's
yeah.
going to be consuming that,
That's
and it's
still
going to
end
get to
up
the point
happening
where
anyway.
we're drawing a dark-skinned black woman. Like in the
Yeah.
70s, it becomes new because
Yeah.
everybody was drawing Mariah Carey's.
Yeah.
And not, this is what I'm saying. See,
Yeah.
See?
yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
don't. I understand. I understand you.
You know who
I
you are,
understand
nigga.
you being not liking AI art. I understand it.
Yeah.
I understand you standing on it. I understand all the artists who stand on hating that shit.
Look.
Just understand that you. First of all, fix the community, because
Yes.
ultimately you're a hypocrite.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, you're a hypocrite, because not only have you stole yourself, not only do you buy stolen work, fix the community, and the biggest thing we can do is kill capitalism. But that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
And another thing as to why AI isn't going to last as long is that the reason why
Art.
art
Yeah.
lasted as long as it is because people could relate to picking up a pencil and trying and not being able to do it.
Well-
But then appreciate and be awed at someone that's
Well, the reason
mastered
why-
that compared to like,
Yeah.
I did this on the computer.
People are
Yeah.
going to get
and,
bored.
and people
reason-
can't relate to that.
Yeah. Well, one of the
Like
reasons
they
why.
could relate trying to paint.
Yeah.
They could probably relate to trying to picking up a pencil and doing it digitally.
Yeah.
And so they see your efforts when it's like, geez, I could have never done this because I've at least tried.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons
Compared
why
to
art
AI,
Damn, I keep hitting
existed
you
where
with
it's
so
like,
long.
I don't feel nothing for it.
Like art existed so long because of the fact that it for most of art is, I mean, you know, like, of course we're talking about like human art, is it communicates a message. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I will always say that
Yeah.
that human art has
Like-
over everything else.
Like
is
if-
the fact that it has a message.
Yeah.
We was talking about, and we could use this. I think this would be a great segue, so I'm going to just say it.
Wait,
but I
wait,
think,
where you going? Because we
Huh?
had 116. We can
What?
close out and then restart if you need to.
Well, we was going to talk about anime and versus American
Oh, yeah,
cartoons.
let's cut because
Okay.
we had
All right.
117.
All right, cool.
All right, we're gonna cut right
Yeah.
here and.
The bamboo earrings, baby.